So here we are together at the start of Easter week on Palm Sunday, arguably the most important week in the Christian calendar, and it's really heart-wrenching, isn't it, for those of us that have been coming to church for a long time not to be able to spend Easter physically together. So I hope you really appreciate this time we get together here online this morning. Remember, you can watch all the parts of the video and then go back to Facebook afterwards and continue the conversation. Easter week is a week packed full of different emotions, isn't it? It's like a roller coaster ride from Palm Sunday, when there's all the joy and triumphalism of Jesus riding into Jerusalem on the donkey, to the sorrow of Good Friday, and then the hope that we all get from Easter Sunday. It's a real roller coaster ride of emotions that we all experience from time to time. One of our church family who's experienced all of those emotions and more in just the last few years is our friend June. Mother to 7, grandmother to 17, and great-grandmother to 11 more. Every large family has its trials, every family, whatever size, has its trials, but you've had a particularly tough couple of years. Just talk us through the last few years, June.
May 2016, I lost my hubby after a very long illness to heart problems. We'd been together 54 years in all, and that broke us as a family. 2017, we lost our grandson Ryan, aged 20, to knife crime. We were with him as he passed when they turned his machine off after 2 days. But it was hard because not being able to see him after he passed due to investigations. They released his body after 5 weeks. So it eventually turned out that when they released his body, the date for the funeral was exactly on the same day, 12 months after that we buried his granddad on the 2nd of June. And that devastated us. 2018 might sound sad to some people, but I lost our family pet, Dollar, aged 11, to cancer, and I had to have him put to sleep. And then finally, January 2020, we got the horrible news that my great-grandson Dylan, aged 15, was involved in a road traffic accident on the way to school, and he was given CPR at the scene and then rushed to Hull here and put in induced coma. They had to take part of his skull away to help to reduce the swelling in the brain, and the next 48 hours was crucial.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Dylan in a bit, because there is a nice story to follow off the back of that. I mean, there's sort of really difficult things for anybody to go through maybe once a decade, but for so many to come one after another. And someone who's been involved in church for a long time, it would be very easy to stop coming. So why did you keep coming to church? It's very easy in those situations to go, God, why have you let all this happen to me? But you kept coming. What kept you coming?
It's knowing that you've got back up. It's not only your own family that backs you up all the way, but you also have church family, and they are all there to support you. And it's just knowing that God's behind it all.
And I mean, I was going to say that kind of the faith element of it. You've got kind of your physical human friends, but having that faith to keep coming. I mean, how important has that faith been, and has it wavered? I'm interested to know. Has it wavered? You must have had time.
Truthfully, it has wavered. I have asked why. Why God? But plenty of people ask that, and nobody can answer. Only God knows that. And having that faith is knowing that there's a reason behind it. And it's just trusting in God and knowing that He's there for you and He's going to be holding you up all the time.
Yeah. Obviously, we're coming into Palm Sunday and Easter week, which is to come, and we're looking at some of the things His followers would have gone through, and Jesus Himself, a whole range of emotions in the week leading up to Easter. And you've been through a whole range of emotions over the last 4 years or so. And as a community at the moment, we're all going through a range of emotions, aren't we? This kind of the anxiety, the fear, the worry about everything that's going on. What would you say to someone else who's going through the similar sort of period of testing, particularly someone who doesn't know God and maybe isn't a churchgoer?
The only thing I can say, Chris, is don't give up, don't give in. You've got to have the faith to reach out to God and talk to Him. Even if it's only to shout at Him, He's there for listen. He understands how you feel, he knows your pain, and he knows your worries. And it's just knowing that you've got somebody to talk to, and he'll listen.
Yeah, and it leads on nicely to sort of a nice finish. We'll finish with some good news. And you mentioned Dylan, who was involved in that accident on the Linkway in January. It's been a long couple of months for the whole family, I guess. Yeah. What's the situation now? Because I know when it actually happened, there was several days, wasn't there, of real concern?
Yeah. He's coming along brilliant now. Like I say, he's been in hospital for a couple of months, and through all the prayer, there's been lots of people praying for him. A lot of people at church have prayed for him, and daily is just improved, and it's been fantastic. Even the doctors have said he's done marvellous. And for me, it's only through prayer, and he's doing brilliant now. He's home, and he's still got problems. He's still got a long way to go, but at least he's still here and he's home with his parents, and he's doing brilliant.
There's nothing better than hearing real-life testimony, is there? And thank you to June for taking part in this morning's service. I said during last week's service that God teaches us new things all the time when we're going through crisis. I truly believe that through hard times we learn new things. And this week the good news is June's learned how to use Skype, which is fantastic news. And she's picked the next song. Now, the next song we're going to do, we actually sung during last week's service, but it's one that's particularly special to her. And it begins with the line, "My hope is built on nothing less."